guys, welcome to another video. If I'm honest, this one is pretty rushed. I try and do 1 or 2 a week. I've been flat chat with just work and doing a lot of new initiatives that I'm going to be talking more about, especially AI agents, using that more to streamline my businesses as well as improve and grow them, which is pretty cool. Now this, again, screenshot is probably a bad one. So I'll zoom in this time. There we go. That's a bit better than last time, isn't it? So you can see here what I wanted to sort of talk about. Now, a lot of people talk about Facebook ads is this and that. And I know TikTok is also that too. And I think TikTok has its place. But what I wanted to show you is, look here, right? These campaigns, what's this? The last 7 days to the 8th of June. The ad account time zone is why it was put in the wrong time zone. Once you make an ad account, you can't change the time zone unless you make another whole ad account. And it'll screw around your data, so don't do it. So that's why it's like that. But like you can see that it's actually gone down. Now, here in Australia, we just had a public holiday. It was the King's birthday, literally public holiday yesterday. And that all impacts it. Now, automated rules and everything, AI automated rules, they do definitely help, but they don't make a massive difference. Obviously, my ROAS is collectively healthy, but my point is that it was a 10 for that top one, and it's halved, and that's sort of just the nature of it, right? It peaks and troughs, right? So always remember that, don't just see flashy figures, right? Like, I'm not spending collectively much here, and that's $1,000, right, in 7 days, because I don't focus mostly on paid ads. I focus a lot on influencer marketing and other more organic channels that I prefer. And if you want stuff on my influencer marketing strategy, I'm more than happy to give it. I'm actually building a tool around it. I'm that passionate about it. I know a lot about it. So let me know in the comments if that's something you wanted me to teach. But things that you're going to get ad account suspensions. I've had that many times, both, especially if you're running dropshipping or especially if you're running dropshipping, but even with established brands, you might get an ad account suspension for God knows what, right? No matter how seasoned your ad account is, no matter how verified that is, Facebook do changes, and they've improved it a 50-fold. So I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but I've had it where an ad account suspension might mean that you're not spending. Remember how I said that once you get momentum, if you even turn it off for even an hour, it can lose that what's called momentum that you can't control. So that's a really important thing. You're going to get your business manager suspended. You could even get your whole account removed. I've had my account falsely flagged as being compromised, and then my business manager was locked. The ad accounts were then locked, and you have to be very careful with that, right? So make sure you always have two-factor on your Facebook ad account. I have passkey. I have all of them. I have backups, and I use a tool called Bitwarden personally, where I store all my passwords, so it's super secure as much as possible. It's sort of what I do. The platform is very buggy and expensive collectively. When you see people showing huge results, like I've seen that with the number of Facebook ads experts and all of that, yes, they are, but that doesn't mean profitability. Okay, and that's why I always suggest looking outside of that. Like, if I'm to be honest, that where I more rely on that the big thing is influencer marketing. YouTube is honestly, especially for e-commerce, very unsaturated. Instagram is very expensive. TikTok is still pretty good, but YouTube's best. If you can get your products shown on there in a very natural way, it always converts best, right? Because people show long form stories, and from my experience, has always performed better over the longer term. And remember, the businesses that are spending tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands a month on ads doesn't mean profitability. 5 ROAS is not indicative of profit. You could have a 1 ROAS and you could still be very profitable depending on your product. 5 ROAS usually is indicative. When you see these big ROAS, big ROAS numbers, it's usually it's a high average order value, usually higher ticket. But like if someone spends $1,000, usually your cost of goods is at least 40 to 60% of that as a chunk. So you got to remember that isn't indicative of that. Always make sure, like, you can use ChatGPT to figure out your ideal ROAS and stuff as well. So make sure you keep that in mind as well. Trends have changed. You should be focused on social media more than ever. What I mean by that is using social media organic. You can use, that's where I'm starting to learn it, n8n.com is a massive trending tool. It's like make.com. You can make AI agents and MCP. I'm still literally just learning that new ropes. AI agent to find trending content, for example, in your space. It'll continually learn. You can use API to various tools like HeyGen. There's Synthesia, but I use HeyGen. I prefer that personally. And then you can make content. You make like an AI avatar and you can make content around it. I'm constantly seeing these things on like LinkedIn is very big for it because it's obviously very focused on sales. Check it and then publish it. Boom, boom, boom. You know, you can even have like an approval process where, you know, in Slack, you can say approved for the content or disapproved or add some feedback. It's really, really cool stuff. I follow a few people on that. And so like, as I learn that more and build that out, I'm going to teach that more because you can make content on autopilot that's cheap as chips. And it's actually significantly cheaper than Facebook ads, right? You know, you might spend $1,000 in a month, and you might spend on with the HeyGen and this other tool, you might spend $100 on 2 subscriptions, and you have all this content on autopilot, where you know it can go viral, and it's far easier than you think. Google Ads as well is always amazing. I always suggest at least run a brand search campaign. The amount of people that just ignore me when I say, you know, go on Google, make an account, run a brand search campaign on the keywords of your business as an exact match, for example. So, dogs are us. Type that in, put in a title, a headline, put in a description, spend 20 minutes, right? It literally is 20 minutes max. And you can have that set up. You don't even need conversion tracking set up. I mean, it's not even hard to do conversion tracking, especially on Shopify, where you just use the Google Sales Channel and it guides you through that. Like, it's that simplified nowadays, and it's only going to get easier. So you really shouldn't have an excuse. You should be running Google Ads at a bare minimum, right? And I actually find that with Google that I get pinpoint accuracy in terms of leads, in terms of traffic, and then Facebook actually does it amazing for remarketing. I get a lot of people through shopping ads that may not convert through shopping ads, but I keep running it anyway, even if the ROAS is lower, because then I get them on Facebook. I'll show this in my last video again as well, where that then come back on Facebook and it's just a reminder, and there you go, they've purchased. It works that well, okay? Remember, what you truly need to scale your e-commerce business as well, that's very important to keep in mind, is email marketing, right? Email marketing is the very blood of e-commerce. You won't hear anyone that's not scaling that doesn't talk about that email marketing is the true backbone of their business, and if they're not doing it, they're not scaling. I absolutely guarantee you, because the email marketing, you know, you could, you know, on social media, you're aiming for like a 2 to 3 ROAS. A lot of people are very happy with that, whereas it's very easy to say that on email marketing you could get a 10, 20 ROAS very easily. You might spend $500 in a month. My subscription, I think it's like $600 in the month, and on average generates about 15, 20 grand. You know, so from my perspective, it's like when you're running paid ads and then you start doing that, it's very easy to justify. That's why tools like Klaviyo and the others sort of all do well. I'm even building my own that's coming out in a couple of months because I'm, again, passionate about it, and I know that it makes a lot of money, and it's very easy money. That's why, like, there's so many agencies around this. But as I said, the big difference that I'm seeing that I want to do is have AI agent, where, you know, at the end of the day, you can build have the app and it basically runs it itself and does it for you. You know, because one of the problems of running an e-commerce business, let's be honest, especially a brand, when you're fulfilling orders, which a lot of people are in their home, in a warehouse, all of that, making the product, is you're very limited on time. AI agents is the key. So, like, you know, I'm really focused on that to keep costs down while actually improving profitability in your business all the same. So that's sort of the key focus. And, you know, sort of on that note, you should be very focused on automating your business. You really can now. Before, it was all sort of a bit hype. Now it's reality. So it's very important to keep that in mind. I'll be making videos on this. I'm probably going to be making a whole new channel as I learn it more. Myself and my team literally learning it all, n8n.com. And building all these flows, and I'll just give them out for free because I just want to give them out because they're so powerful to your business. So very, very important there as well. So I just wanted to make this short video. In my next one, I'll make another Facebook ads one. I just haven't had much time today, so I wanted to make a quick one and just sort of say about this. You've seen my screenshots and stuff, but this is all just the truth. You speak to nearly anyone, and if they're solely running Facebook ads, I nearly guarantee that in 6 months they'll be regretting that. Okay, you always need to not rely 100% on Facebook. You should always optimize it and use it well, but you should always look outside the box because it's just not a reliable platform. I don't think any platform is. You should always look at some diversification, and with how AI and how simple these platforms are becoming, and how many videos there are online, whether it's my channel or others, there's just so much content that you can just sort of go through, spend an hour, and then sort of, you can diversify your business risk. I don't know why I just looked the other way there, but anyway, so that's all I sort of wanted to say. Please let me know what sort of videos you want in the comments down below. I'd really love to sort of know, responding to them all. Other than that, I just wanted to say thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely day. Take care and goodbye.